on Station 3.
Can I make one comment on that? That response time, they're including transfers in all those numbers. I don't know if you guys are aware of that or not. But, so if they are at the hospital and they get a transfer, they just advise dispatch they're in service, mark us out on a transfer, and put us here. So that's, and I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but that's not a realistic number.
It should be quicker.
Well, that's an average. So for every 0 or 10 seconds that the dispatcher clicks it over, that averages out with the 15 minutes it took them to get on the emergency run.
Right.
So it's kind of a, I don't want to be mean, but it is a little bit distracting when they do it that way. I would like to see us get a report with transfers taken completely out.
I wouldn't argue that because that's really what we're interested in.
I just do it.
I think that the 911 calls is
Right.
what we should be really concerned about. Not that transfers aren't important, getting people to a higher level of care where they need to be, that's important.
That's important, but it's not considered an emergency, is it?
Correct. 90% of them are not. They're just from one facility to another.
Yeah.
Is anything in this report reflect how many times they're at level 0
No.
and the other agencies are covering?
No. The only thing that you could really look at on there and get just a little hint of that might be how many times Bourbon, Leesburg, and Milford are running into Warsaw. And this shows in June that the Bourbon truck didn't come into town at all. Leesburg came in 25 times, which would indicate that there were no Warsaw trucks readily available to take a call within Warsaw. 25 times. Milford 6 times. I don't think, they're not running a truck out of the admin building anymore, so that doesn't really show anything. They're running 2 trucks out of the east station, 1 truck out of the west station. So, yeah. I don't think just respectfully, I don't think we're getting the data that you want to see. And that may be something that needs to be taken up with them to see if they can provide that. Because this is total, so this is all the transfers that are generated, all of that stuff, is my understanding. Now, that could be.
That is correct.
Yeah,
I quite frankly didn't realize that transfers are included in this.
I believe they are.
So I would clarify that, and to me, if they want to show transfers, that's fine, but separate them out.
Okay,
You guys
I will-
feel any different?
No, if it affects their average on-scene time or response time, then they need to take just like Chris said, they need to take that out because it's not accurate. It's not a picture of their response. And so
Right.
the only way that transfers are even relevant to Warsaw-Wayne Fire Territory is if they affect the ambulance getting to the call that we're already on. That's the only way, but then the response time is going to be reflected in that case anyway, so the transfers are completely irrelevant to us.
I'd like to see the transfer numbers relative to the total numbers to get an idea
Right. Yes.
of the volume or the breakdown of emergency versus non. But I agree with you. If you're looking at response time, if you throw the transfers in, it doesn't mean anything.
Thanks for
Okay,
pointing that out.
You're welcome.
appreciate that. All right, so let's move into the operating fund. That's been presented to you. Looking down through here, you all had a chance to see this. Any questions? Any large expenditures you have questions about? Some engine parts. Utilities. What's first due scheduling?
First due is our pre-incident program and response program that comes through on our mobile devices. That's the yearly contract for that.
Okay, thank you.
And you're also going to see, yes, the engine 13 or engine 13.2 repairs was actually a radiator. Some of it's through McQueen and some of it's local. Again, that's parts only because the service and repair is done by Damien's group at the street department.
I don't have any questions other than that. Any, Michael or Brandon?
What oil filter, it costs $315.
On the engine.
Holy smokes.
Proprietary parts.
Good gravy.
Aren't we trying to get away with that? from
Yeah.
that?
Yes.
What engine was that for?
13.2.
Duly noted. All right. Is there a motion to approve the expenditures as read?
So moved. Second.
All right, any further discussion or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, question, equipment replacement fund. So you got an expensive garage door
3 of them. Replaced the front
3.
doors at Station 2.
at 2.
Did some repairs to the operating devices.
And then the radios,
That is the second set of, the radio equipment, the communications equipment for the new battalion vehicle that's still on its way here. It's
Got
part
it.
of that.
other questions? Is there a motion to approve 410 equipment replacement as presented?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right. And item 4 is an updated fleet information.
It's just the
for your
spreadsheet for your,
information.
yeah.
You're not really showing anticipated replacements on here, are you?
No, all that is your mileage and where their equipment's sitting at and what the original cost was. It's just a spreadsheet that we use. We try to update a couple, 3 times a year for you.
Questions? All right, thank you. All right, with no unfinished business, let's move into new business. Permission to purchase a EMS chief's duty vehicle, replacing the 2008 Chevy Tahoe.
Tahoe's currently driving us 204,000 miles on it. We searched locally. We had $45,000 in the budget in equipment replacement. We were able, through state bid, find a Dodge Durango that will do exactly what he's needing. It's actually a 2020. It's still sitting on their lot, so we have a savings between that and the 2021 model year. The cost of the vehicle through the state bid is $36,553. Savings of $2,827. So we're asking the Territory Board to approve this purchase.
Sure, the Board of Works is gonna ask why you didn't look locally.
Well, for the dollar amount, we started looking at 1-year, 2-year-old models. Couldn't find anything locally. Did search, talked with Rice Ford and the Chevrolet dealership, the GMC dealership. Chris made numerous conversations with them and other dealers outside. This was referred to us by Syracuse Police Department, Syracuse Fire, Webster Fire, and Winona Lake Police Department to contact this dealership. They've had success. They actually are the state supplier for these vehicles for like state police and so on and so forth. So they have an abundance of vehicles. It's sitting on a lot. You don't have to go through the order process. So we shopped for over a month, 2 months, trying to figure out what we could buy locally and that would work. We even looked at pickup trucks like what we bought, Aaron. And they're just like new pricing. So
Chief, do these come tricked out for what? your
some of
purposes
this
are?
product, some of them was when they're ordered for a police package, they do have some of the heavier wiring. They're made for emergency response instead of buying something civilian-wise off the lot.
Is this
This is
one
one of those, yes.
Okay. So they're probably not the easiest things to run across anyway.
No. And we tried to stay white or red. There were some black ones sitting around that we would have had to put the expense of trying to do something, but
So
this was the
white.
best price. This is white.
White, so you just paint. some
Do
red
something
on it?
stripe-wise on it to be
big enough for your needs.
That is correct.
Okay. And once you get it, are we gonna put more money into it to?
He'll have, we're going to keep the Tahoe he's in now, so you'll have radio equipment and some light packages to put on it. That's it.
That's it?
All right. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, those opposed? All right. That will go to the Board of Works, it appears on July 16th. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I think these are, hang on just a sec.
If we need to change the oil filter on this new
Well,
truck.
definitely not gonna be $300.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess item number 1 is the summary of,
Yeah, since there were so many, I did a summary.
just did a summary,
Yeah, which
okay?
is a standalone.
They're all listed
And then the
individually,
rest-
items
yeah,
2
they're all
through 7.
individually.
Okay,
Since there's so many this time.
so you got 3 going to scuba. I thought we were doing that here this summer.
This is prerequisites that these 3 individuals need to, well, Zach needs to finish his, that's why the cost is different. He just needs to do the skills. Kyle and Tyler, these are prerequisites that they need to do so they can attend the classes that we're bringing in for this fall. Then Nate's and Brent's was actually if I remember right, Aaron, help, this was paid for in 2020, they had to cancel the class because of COVID. This is the out-of-state one that we brought you a couple weeks ago. Chris and I are going to best practices of community risk reduction, which is a state-funded course. It's just hotel in Plainfield. Aaron is working on finishing up his operations level, and it says Foundation of Emergency Management is the crossover between what we do in the fire operations and what an EMA would do, and then Science of Disaster. And then the very last one is the 2020 AIM Ideas Summit that I've been asked to go speak at with Paige on fire territories.
All right. Any questions on any of these?
Can you tell me that hummingbird sonar technician again?
That
We paid
is-
for it? What, we paid for it,
Mhm.
but it had to be canceled?
Got canceled on us.
So did we get a refund? We're paying it again?
No, that was a credit for the class. If you go down and look at the long form, the travel request long form, you'll see there's no cost for the event itself, for the training itself. It's just a flight and hotel out there. It's in Kansas.
Yeah, the concern was with COVID, it was canceled, and then they
Yeah.
came to
I
me
get
as far
that.
as the
I just-
but they wanted to know if they could do out-of-state travel, and we had really done, we're doing that on a case-by-case basis. But I was made aware that they had already paid for the class, so.
Okay.
Yeah, the company's been holding a credit for us. Now, and the Hummingbird sonar technician, the equipment we already own. It was a joint venture between the PD and the fire department for the dive team. So it's on one of the boats that's assigned to the police department. And we need people able to certify to be able to run that. And these 2 will be the ones on our side of the fence that will be certified to run that sonar.
Great. Understand now.
All right. Any other questions? Is there a motion to approve the travel summaries as presented?
I'd make a motion to approve travel summaries.
Second.
Thank you. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right. Other matters that may come before the board.
EMS Chief Fansel, if you want to talk about K-21 deal, Foundations Program.
We don't have this all worked out yet. I'm waiting to talk to Holly Swoverland, but I did come to you and ask permission to apply for a grant through the County Fire Association for the maintenance of the auto pulse devices. You said we could go ahead and do that. What we wanted to do was get K21 to pay for the extended warranty options on those so that as the batteries aged out or the chargers went out, something like that. And it was kind of an affiliate in just partnership with the County Fire Association, so it would cover all 17 of them. K21 heard, listened to what we wanted, came back to us with a different idea. They want to set aside some money to pay for those things without paying for warranties for all 17 of them. So we're still going to benefit from that, as will the county departments, but it's a little bit different look than what we were originally asking for. They don't like the idea of extended warranties because it's a gamble, and so they just wanted to put a set amount of money aside for those repairs. But again, I don't have the details on how that will look yet. We're still trying to figure that out. I think probably because of the holiday, there's been some vacation, things like that. I haven't had a chance to get back with them to figure it out, but they did award us a set amount of money for that purpose, to maintain those auto pulse devices for the county. So, and we're just the host of that. That's not going to be any investment for us other than maybe a little bit of time. So shouldn't be bad at all. But wanted to let you know what the
So it's
outcome
more
of
or
that
less a
was.
self-insure.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. They felt like that would be more fiscally prudent to do it that way, just because there are some departments that have those auto pulse devices and they've had them for 20 years and they're still running. So they felt like it was more of just a little bit better to just set aside an amount of money and say, if you have an issue, come to us and we'll do something. So again, I don't have the details. As we get that worked out, we'll bring that back to you. So you know what we're doing.
All right,
Do you have anything?
all
Good.
right. All right, anything else for the board? All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
I have been asked a lot of questions by guys about raises, with the PD getting the raises, and just asking me what that's all about, and so is there,
That's set by the council and being taken up by them,
okay.
all right?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All right, thank you.
Okay. Did you know there was 4 of these here?
Yep, one
Just
of them was
one for me?
operating, one's equipment replacement, pension, and hazmat.
And when do I get mine?
In your book. That's why I got an extra copy there.
Mike, that pension board meeting, is that, I haven't looked at my calendar, it's coming up, isn't it?
Friday.
Okay. And you talked to Lynn about that?
Yeah, we have a discrepancy on how we figured it and how she figured it.
Well, you need to get with her before the meeting.
Is that,
Yeah, you can.
okay, thank you. Oh, well, he ran away. He's dodging the question. Okay.
So last month, we had, it was Memorial Day, and at 5 o'clock, I'm sitting in my office, and my wife's sitting next to me, and I said, remind me not to miss my meeting tomorrow. She said, today's Tuesday. Because we didn't work on Monday.
Unchecked box. and
Unchecked
they are
box.
responsible
For
for
their own housekeeping.
within their lease premises.
I'll make it simple.
I'll email them when I get back to the office.
Okay.
Here, Shirley.
Met someone who belongs to you,
Which one? Meet my daughters.
your daughter, one of your daughters.
One of
my daughters.
She was out at the lake
Yeah.
down, and there was a big group of
Yeah.
good kids.
Yeah, right.
Nicer kids than I was at.
Yeah, me too.
They were all very nice.
Yeah.
We have that.
Mayor Palmer. I guess I can do the agenda, is that correct, for the meeting on Friday? For the pension meeting? So basically, just call to order.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Like every time I talk to them, they get up about it.
That.
You
approve new hires at that
I usually pass.
and pay out pensions.
Yeah, basically, the only other meetings we had